Good day, everybody. Hope you can hear me. Please leave a message in the chat just to let me know that my voice is coming in loud and clear for you all. Thank you. All right. Thank you, Aaron, Serge, Steve, Frenchie. I see you guys all here. Reggie, thanks for joining. Right. Let's get started. I'm going to go for about 45 minutes today. We have a limited amount of time, and I believe we're not going to have a lot of people today. As we get closer and closer to the end of the year, people are getting busy with a whole lot of other different things. So that's perfectly fine and understandable. Let me go ahead and share my screen. I'm going to get into some information here. I want to talk about the IRS Form 8832. Been getting a series of questions on that subject. I believe you can find that information inside of the sophomore class, the sophomore tier on Patreon. So I'm going to go into it today and show you how to fill out that form. What you're going to use that form for is for your entity reclassification for your estate number. That's something that everybody needs to get. It's good for a term, a period of 7 years. This is going back to the laws of the Jubilee, the biblical treaties. 7 years, your debts shall be forgiven. Now, when you do this, when you get the number online, irs.gov, they're going to spit out an EIN number for you, but you had to give your social security number to get it. So your social is the private side of the ledger. There's two sides to one coin. There's heads and tails. There's the private and the public. The public is your social and the private is your estate. Two sides of the same coin. You accumulate debt on one side, you cancel debt on the other side, but on the face of that coin, there is where lies your express trust, the foreign entity, to remove debt obligations. Now, once you get that EIN number, you are supposed to go and get the IRS Form 8832 entity reclassification, fill it out the way I've showed you, turn it in, and it could be anywhere from 3 to 6 months before you get it back. Some people are just now getting it back and it's been 6 months. So give it time and don't let up. Once you send this document off and you don't hear anything within 30 to 45 days, I want you to send another one. Keep it in front of them so that way they can respond to you. This is very important that you get the specific, what do you call this specific letter, the termination letter, to come back saying that your entity has been reclassified as a foreign entity, meaning it no longer will file seeking to pay a tax. It's only filing just to meet the requirement. Let's say you wanted to go and get financing at a bank. Some banks are going to ask you for what? Your tax returns. So filing a tax return and there being an amount on there that you owe is very different than actually having to pay the tax. So this is why we do this. All right. Let's say I was a CEO of the Weather Modification Company. That's incorporated, right? And I wanted to fill out the 8832 form to reclassify this entity under the express trust so that it no longer pays taxes. What I would do is go to Form 8832. You're going to get this directly from irs.gov. Depending on what state you're in, you're going to mail this document to either one of these addresses. Okay, let's go down. Here it is. First thing you're brought up is Weather Modification Company. You're going to type the full name of the company that you've registered to get EIN number. Even if this is your LLC, it doesn't matter. LLC, corporation, general partnership, limited liability partnership, it doesn't matter. If you want to reclassify it under the trust, you can do that. Even if you are a partner in the company, say you're doing 50-50 split, you can still do it. It just means that when you list the trust on the articles as the 100% beneficial owner, you and your partner will be listed as managers. Your portion that you received, 50%, is going to be discounted as you don't have to pay any taxes. But the other 50% that your other partner or your manager received, they're going to have to pay taxes on their end. Okay. So let's say the EIN number for weather modification company is 666699, whatever the last 4 digits are. You're going to put that there. Put the address, Storm Boulevard, Stateside, District of Columbia. Leave this section blank unless you are changing your address. You do not need to mark off this box, and you do not need to mark off this box. So leave them blank. If you're updating your address within the Secretary of State as well on your articles, then you would select, we're doing an address change. Question number 1, type of election. We're changing the current classification of this incorporating company. If I just created this company and I was just given an EIN number, then I would select A. That would be the case for you if you got your estate number based on learning this information from the course. You would select A. But in this example, I'm going to go over pre-existing companies who want to be reclassified under their trust to stop paying the tax or to avoid, right? There's tax evasion and there's tax avoidance. You want to avoid. This is the way to avoid it. Number 2. Well, in 1B, if you selected B, you have to go down to line 2A. 2A says, has the eligible entity previously filed an entity election that had an effective date within the last 60 months? No. Okay. Skip line 2B and go to line 3. We're going to skip 2B, going down to line 3. Does the eligible entity have more than one owner? No, we do not want to give them more than one owner. The only owner of this company is going to be Big Brother I Express Trust, whatever the name it may be. And of course, it's going to have a 98 number. You would place that 98 number right here. Number 5, non-applicable. There is no parent corporation, and there is no parent corporation's EIN number. Sometimes there is, depending on how this weather modification company was set up. Maybe there's another company that's doing business as weather modification company. In that case, yes, you would put the name of that business here and that business's EIN number, but not for this. Number 6, what is the type of entity? I'm going to save you some time. It is F, a foreign eligible entity with a single owner electing to be disregarded as a separate entity. Do you see that? A foreign eligible entity with a single owner electing to be disregarded as a separate entity. This is the tax avoidance when you're under a foreign eligible entity. If you've been given a 98 number, you have a foreign eligible entity who will be the single owner. Okay. Number 7, where is this eligible entity created or organized? That's why we say when we're on the phone dealing with the IRS, we get our 98 number, they ask you, what is the address of the trust? We say it is established in a foreign country. You may choose, just like if you wanted to renounce your US citizenship, you can tell the other country, I'm going to be under you, and you'll take it. The very same thing for the trust. Why does the trust have the ability to do that? Because it is looked upon as a natural person. Just like you and I can choose, the creator of the trust can choose. All right, so we chose Switzerland for this example. Election to be effective. We want it to be effective as of today. The name and title of the contact person, Charles Schwab, trustee, whoever your trustee is, of the Foreign Express Trust. and give the number. You know my number, 888-899-2262. Now, there has been a publication that was put out by the IRS saying that they have some forms where you are allowed to provide electronic or e-signatures. And this form does qualify. So if you have Adobe or Preview on your Mac or anything that allows you to sign on your computer, you can do that on this form. Do not let them tell you we're rejecting this because we need wet ink signatures. That's a lie. That just means send it again the exact same way. You'll get a different IRS agent, and hopefully it goes through at that time. Okay. Now, the first signature is going to be the CEO of the incorporation. If you are reclassifying an LLC, obviously it wouldn't be a CEO. It would just be the manager. The second line is your Foreign Express Trust signature as beneficial owner trustee. So in this case, it would be Charles Schwab. That is it. The first 2 pages is how you do Form 8832. And like I said before, you will send it directly to one of these addresses, depending on what state you're in. Now let's go down and find out, how do you do this for the estate? If I had an estate number, I would be placing in this box, John Doe, family of Smith estate. I prefer that you guys get your estate numbers with the family of, the way you've seen it in my example. In that video, I did explain why you want to do that. Now, sometimes the system doesn't allow you to do it. Sometimes they do not allow you to do it. So it's okay if you have an EIN in this format. John Doe Smith estate, perfectly fine, okay? Of course, put the corresponding EIN number there. Everything stays the same. Now, for the estate, you just got it. You're going to select A this time. This is for an initial classification by a newly formed entity. Although your estate was created when you were born and registered inside of the Registrar of Titles office, but you're now taking aware of it with the IRS, so you will have to select A. Skip to lines 2A and 2B. All right, we're skipping that, so we uncheck, and we're skipping 2B, and we go directly to 3, and everything remains the same. Exactly the same, except for number 9. The title for the estate is not going to be trustee. The name and title of the contact person can be yourself. John Doe Smith. And you would put the executor. There's different titles for different things. You have trustee for trust, executor, executrix, authorized representative for the estate, LOC, you have managers, etc., etc. So that means you would sign the first section and put executor, and the beneficial owner would stay the same, your foreign trustee. You're giving the property over to the foreign trustee. So that's how you do it for the estate number and an LLC or a corporation. Now let's go back to the subject of the estate. IRS Manual 5.5.1.2. They tell you about the tax portion. A lot of you are confused about, okay, now if I do this process, I'm at the end of the year, I'm a W-2 worker. What do I do? Excuse me. What do I do when it comes to filing the taxes? Maybe you are someone who wants to go ahead and purchase real estate or anything, which requires tax returns. It's going to tell you what to do right here, right? Here we go. Let's go down to point number 8. This is 5.5.1.2. Number 8. An estate. An estate is a taxable entity when you first get this number, it is a taxable entity. It is a domestic estate. After successfully doing the 8832 process, it will then become a foreign estate, and therefore it is not causing a taxable event. So an estate is a taxable entity separate from the decedent that comes into being on the death of the individual. They just told you, you have your SSN on one side, you have your estate on the other side, and upon death, you get a whole nother entity, which is the decedent entity. This is why they create the death certificate, so they can still earn money even after you are gone. This is why I want you to do the family of estate, because there's going to be a process in the end where you can go into bankruptcy court and make sure that they do not do this to you and your family. Bankruptcy is where the money is, and that needs to go to a trust and a trust only. It says it exists until the final distribution of its assets to who? The heirs and other beneficiaries. The income earned by assets of the estate, it must be reported on Form 1041, U.S. income tax return for estates and trust. If there is 600 or more of income during a tax year. Of course, all of us make over $600 per year. It says the estate's income, like an individual's income, it must be reported annually on either a calendar or fiscal year basis. Schedule K1 is filed with the return and provided to beneficiaries that receive income from the estate. Now, what have we talked about in the past? Who is the beneficiary of income from the estate? Go back to your declaration of trust information. Who is the sole beneficiary of the express trust? That is the express trust itself. Okay. Now that you see this information, when you get a 1099 or a W-2 at the end of the year from your employer, and it's time to file taxes, not only are you filing a 1040, but you have to file with an accompanying 1041, like the rule tells you to do. Right? Give me a second, let me pull this up here. So if you file a 1041, you have to fill this out. Who's the name of the estate? John Doe. Family of Smith estate. I would give the EIN number. The title for yourself, right, would be John Doe Smith. And you would put executor. Or you can go and get a CPA. This is something easy, not a secret. Get a CPA. They can be listed as a fiduciary. You give them Form 56. This is where Form 56 comes in. You can give your CPA Form 56 and let them put their name there as the fiduciary to fill this out for you. And they're going to just simply take the W-2 information or the 1099 and fill out this information, right? Eventually, as you go through the entire thing, it's going to show that whatever monies that you earned is going to be considered, what did it just say? Monies for the beneficiaries that receive income from the estate. The K1 is very important. Part 1, the estate goes here. The estate name, the estate EIN number goes there. The estate name, the fiduciary, whether it's going to be a trustee or your CPA, and then the beneficiaries ID, which is the 98 number. And the beneficiary's name goes here, including the address, which will be a foreign address. This is where you select foreign beneficiary. You turn that in, you have just successfully reported your taxes for the taxable year, and you didn't have to pay anything. This goes in association with IRS Form 8832. All right, so let's go to questions. We stop sharing. Any questions pertaining to the courses and what was just discussed today? Let's go to Aaron. You're the first one. All you got to do is unmute your mic. How you doing?
I'm well, Avery. Thank you.
Good.
Hey, I wanted to find out. So, I'm fairly new in the process. As far as overall, I'm kind of a do-it-yourself guy. I just wanted to clarify how much of the course, freshman through senior, can I accomplish on my own? As far as is there parts that are required to enlist your services, if you will?
There's parts that are required if you wanted myself or my team to do it for you. You're going to need to authenticate the birth certificate yourself. We highly need you guys to be involved in some things. So the BC process to be done, the 8832 as just mentioned, but we're going to prep all of the forms for you. It's just you're going to be on the front lines of submitting that information. So the birth certificate, 8832, your DBAs, and a couple of affidavits to be recorded in the county, and that is it. But we work with you through that. So it's not like you have to get that done on your own before coming into an agreement with us.
Sure.
Yeah.
Love it. Thank you.
Good question. Just reach out to my assistant, Nancy, and she'll get you more information on that if you wanted to get started. I'll put her information in the chat here for you. Going to be 951-394-1775. Email consultantrep@workmail.com. All right, so her information is right there if you want to check that out. All right, thank you very much. Let's go to Steve. You got to do.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I do. How you doing?
Very good. Yourself?
Doing all right. Thank you.
Excellent. Avery, I thought I was going to need to enlist your services for the foreign trustee, but I've recently come across someone that is in Jamaica that I think I can use. But when I was filling out the form, and I'm in the complete tier, and I'm not sure how I missed this, but on the application, it asks for the trust indenture number, saying it's a custom 9-digit number with letters. And I'm not sure how I missed it. Maybe it was in a Zoom or what, but could you comment on what the use or purpose of that trust indenture number is, or where I would find it?
The trust indenture number pertains to your trust enterprise creation. You're going to find that in the junior course under trustee minutes number 5. Just simply look for the document in the junior course, powers and duties of trustee. That's going to give you trustee minutes 1 through 5. Trustee minutes number 5 is where that information goes. All that is it is an internal number that you and your trust office creates. Okay, so it's not something that that's
completely arbitrary,
necessary, but if you wanted to kind of stay organized, you can do that. If you wanted us to do it, we would make it for you and give it to you and let you know to put that inside of your records.
If you would do the trust indenture number, you were saying?
Right, it comes with your foreign trustee purchase. If you still move forward with that, we would do a hold harmless agreement. We'd get you the electronic signature for the foreign trustee from another country, and that plenipotentiary power contract. That's trustee minutes number 5. So it will be in that packet.
Oh, okay. And so if I found this person from Jamaica that I'd potentially be looking to use, then it would just be, would it be an arbitrary number that I would just create?
Correct. Mhm.
Okay. When you say custom 9 digits or custom 9-digit number with letters, is there a certain number of letters, a certain number of number digits, or,
Completely customary to your
okay.
liking.
Okay. Well, hopefully I'll find out next week or so, and I'll either be engaging with you folks on that or not. But thank you for taking my question.
You're very welcome. No problem. Thank you. All right. Frenchie, you're good to go.
Hi, everyone. Okay, so I have a question regarding the 8832. We sent everything for our businesses as well on the top of the estate, the other trust. I just want to make sure that we're not missing. So we're doing, is that okay? And I'm pretty sure that can help everybody. Can we just go over? So I did one for the businesses, right?
Okay.
I did one for the family estate. I
Okay.
did one for the enterprise,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
That's it.
So far, that is it.
So, okay, then we're good. We just never receive anything. So every 3 months, basically I'm resending,
Yes.
but I can do that. You said 30 to 45 days. So,
You can do it earlier than 3 months, 30 to 45 days. I would.
okay. All right. Then, and then, so I thought we could ask something else. I just have a tiny question regarding, my accord and satisfaction with the summon.
We still got
So,
time. Go ahead.
okay, so it's a quick question. I want to know if I really do that summon or not. So latest thing is I did my proof of delivery, everything got accepted. I have a court date in March. So everything goes smoothly so far, but they're telling me that summon would be helping me to bring them to court, but they all receive my bill of complaint. Now with the summon, because they're in Indiana, I'm in Illinois, I have to get the sheriff from that county over there to serve them.
Mhm.
At the end of the day, do I really need to do this?
Yes, you do.
Okay, all
The
right.
sheriff
Then
is Chancery and Equity Court.
that's what I wanted to understand more. So I already contacted the sheriff. They gave me all the, the process, what I need to do. I need to FedEx all that. I got the certified copy from the county clerk. It's just, I didn't want to make a move if, because I
Right.
got the proof of delivery. They receive, everybody, all the parties got served via certified mail, but that's
Mhm.
summon. So, okay, all right. So you
Yeah.
just confirm that. Thank you.
You're
I'll do
good.
that.
You're good. Yeah, when you notice that your bills in Chancery or Equity or your writs, it involves the sheriff when it comes to the evaluation of lands.
Mhm.
So the sheriff over in the jurisdiction where the bank is going to need to
Yes.
be notified just in case the bank does not be honorable in what they've done, which is the breach of contract.
Mhm.
And what the sheriff knows, he's the big boss in that entire area.
Yeah, that's when I
He's over
talked to
everybody.
when I talked to the sheriff, she was telling me, because I was asking her, I said, would that, by you serving them, would that force them to go to court? She was like, we're not forcing them, we're serving them. So she was like, it's just going to help you if they don't show up.
Exactly.
So, okay, all right,
You're
I'll do
hoping
that.
that they don't show up. That's the whole point. When if they don't show, you will file for judgment and get exactly penny for penny what you're asking for in your complaint.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Let's go to Blue Nova. You are unmuted. How you doing?
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes.
My question was, I've done a lot of things. I got the DBA done, the copyright, I got certain things done. I want to know if there's, I heard you talk about the affidavit. What affidavit could I file in the county without having my birth certificate back yet? I don't have my birth certificate back from the federal. So is there anything that I can file with the county until then?
I would wait because
Okay.
you want to wait until you get that specific annex number back from the U.S. Department of State. That annex number needs to go on your non-UCC, so that way you can record that certificate of title in the county. And it also needs to go on your affidavit of domicile claim of ownership with the county.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
hang
Thank you.
tight, you know, you got your DBAs done, you've got your 8832 submitted, you've got all your EINs, you probably already drafted up all of your trustee minutes. So just hang
Yeah.
tight if that comes in, so that way you can finish this up with the county level.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
All right, you're welcome. All right, let's go to Shubi Yahoo. How you doing?
Shabbat Shalom, family. On the subject that you started off with doing the 8832, I did have a question on that. First, I already got everything taken care of as far as my W-4, and my last paycheck, they stopped taking out federal taxes.
All right.
On filing the taxes, you said we do the 1041, and if need be, the K1. And I noticed on there that we needed the something that was from the 8832. If that hasn't come back in, should we file for those taxes or should we wait?
I would wait.
Okay,
Yeah, I would wait.
until that comes in,
Exactly.
because it is taking a while. And I just sent it off again a couple of weeks ago. I did see that they received it. I
Mhm.
just have to wait for them to send it.
Yeah, we're noticing the IRS is being very, very slow to our process. They know exactly what's going to happen when you get it. So just wait, it'll come around. There, like I said, don't worry about deadlines when
Mhm.
filing taxes, because eventually you're going to be tax exempt, so those deadlines don't even matter.
Okay, great.
All right.
All right, thank you.
You're very welcome. That K1 is important because that 98 number is going to go on the K1.
Right.
It would be, it wouldn't make any sense to file it before you receive that 8832 approval, because why give them the K1 when they don't know that the estate has been reclassified under the 98 for the K1? So you want to make sure that that's done first.
Got you. All right, thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Right. Go to Queen. How you doing? You are unmuted. Finance Solution Corp. You there?
Hello, hey Avery, this Shayna. Hey y'all, what's going on? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you good. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Oh my God, I feel like I'm speaking to a celebrity. Hey Avery, it's been a long time. I want to ask a question about, so right now I'm doing the restated LLC incorporation. So I know you told me to have the trust take the ownership of it, and I make myself either a manager under the LLC or do shares under this corporation. So what if they reject that, like through Illinois, or like any county, I mean any state level? Like can you show us like how to fill it out if we're doing it online?
Yeah, I can show it to you. And any of my trainees can show it to you as well through a doc review consultation. It'll be specific.
Okay, so do the consultation. Okay.
Yeah. It'll be
Okay, yeah.
specific for you, and it'll be recorded, so you can have a copy of it and watch it every time to do it over and over and over again for as many LLCs as you have.
Okay, so why would they reject it if we're doing the same thing off of your video?
Have they?
Yes.
If you used, did you try to use their form, or you used us like a regular doc that you draw up yourself?
Probably no, it'd be yours. I did yours.
Yeah, that's what's happening. They're taking the information that I'm putting out there and they're saying that we want it on their forms. And that's fine. We have ways for that too, to get around the bush. So,
Okay.
we
Okay.
can use their forms. They call it the Articles of Reorganization or some like a reinstatement form.
Okay.
And we'll get those forms. We'll put the trust down as the sole owner, the member, and we'll put yourself down as the manager. They have no problem with that. There has been no rejection.
Okay. Okay. All right. So I'll just schedule a consultation for that. And then I have one more quick question. So for the organized association, I created one with a whole different company that I don't have, that I have not incorporated with the state. In Texas, search hard and like all over the place for them to show that it's unincorporated association, but not nonprofit. Because you kept saying that in the video, but like, how would I, how would I put that in enterprise if they're rejecting that?
Gotcha. Some states don't put in the forefront unincorporated associations.
Right.
Instead, they would rather say, here is a nonprofit association that you can start,
Right.
which goes under the guidelines of 501c3 as charity or
Right.
whatever.
Mhm.
What I suggest, find a state that does allow it, create it
Okay.
there, and file a DBA in your county. That way you
Okay.
bring it from that state into your jurisdiction. And then
Right.
you can go to your Secretary of State and file it as a foreign unincorporated association.
Okay. Okay. I kind of figured that was probably another way that I had to do it that way. Okay. All right. Well, thank you. That's all.
All right. You're welcome. Good to hear from you. All right. Going to Jameer King. How you doing?
Hello, how you doing, brother?
Doing all right. Thank you.
Okay. I'm new to your program, and I had a question because last week I created an appellation name for myself and to get the 98 number, and I received the 98 number. So I want to know, in order to continue with the process to do it correctly and efficiently, do I need to get a foreign trustee before I start filling out the 8832 form?
Good question. Good question. If you use your title of nobility name during the call on the with the IRS agent and you got the number, and as of right now, you don't have a foreign trustee, you may use that same title of nobility name in the foreign trustee section of the 8832 form. As long as it's not your birth US name, okay? You can do that. It will work. I've done it for a couple of companies. But eventually you must know, you do not have a truly real foreign trust until you get that person contracted under your hold indemnity agreement form. You're eventually going to have to get one. Because if you end up getting a court case for any reason and you want to use your trust to get yourself out of it, they're going to ask to see if you don't pass that U.S. control and U.S. court test. The only proof that you can give them is your hold harmless indemnity agreement, showing that you have a foreign trustee who owns it all, who owns everything dealing with your name. Of course, that's on paper only, but it is strong enough to get the job done.
Okay, so I want to do that process as far as hiring you for those services to get to the foreign trustee.
Okay.
But I just wanted to know that what would it be best just to wait to do the 8832?
If you know
I
you're
mean-
gonna get one pretty soon, yeah, you can wait, and then that way you can properly and lawfully place this new trustee name on all of your documents, including the 8832.
Okay, so would I have to go back and get a new 98 number? I mean,
Oh,
how would
no.
they know that I have a new foreign trustee?
Oh, no, you don't have to do that.
Okay,
Yeah, you don't have to do that. You're only gonna get one EIN number for the life of the trust. And they are well aware that throughout the life of the trust, trusts get several different trustees over the life of the trust. It's just how McDonald's gets new managers all the time. Okay.
okay,
And they don't need to be notified that you have a new trust operating. We only need to let them know that when we're in court and we need to prove that.
okay.
All right. So if you will just go in the chat and check my assistant's number, the 951 number, and her email, and she'll get you the information on how to get that started for a foreign trustee. Or inside of Patreon, just search foreign trustee application. It's 2 documents that you're going to need, and just fill that out to the best of your ability and send that to us. I have to give you guys a heads up. We've been receiving a couple of applications from you all, but you guys are giving us chicken scratch. So try to go ahead and type that up and then only sign where your signature is required, because we can't read your handwriting. So, all right, Jameer, does that answer any of your questions? You good to go?
Yes, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Thanks for your question. All right, I'm going to Israel. Israel, you are unmuted.
Hi, good morning. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, thank you.
Okay. I wanted to ask, can you give insight on how to file anything in regards to affidavits or whatever in California? And it also, that's the first question.
All right, let me ask you, what kind of affidavit?
So like name change, like if you want to do the name change, or even if you did like a trust or whatnot, like how would you do that in California?
Okay, good question. You first want to go through the court to do your name change. So go down to your local court and get the packet that they have for you to do the name change. Fill out every form as it should be filled out. You can always add exhibits to that document, to that packet, because when you file it, it's going to be a case. It is a legitimate case number attached to it. And you can file affidavit of truth or whatever you want to put to be included in your name change decree. Okay, this is something that I'm going to actually do a webinar on and show you guys how to do very soon. I started it in California as well. LA County was a little weird, so I decided to move to a different jurisdiction here in Florida to do it. Once that's done, I can show you guys.
I was gonna ask, is that a reason why? Because I know California can be weird. I'm in Orange County. They can
Okay.
be weird with they say the whole you need real property, even if you
Right.
like just filing stuff in the county. So
Yeah, I
know.
know. Yeah, LA, California in general, it seems like the best way I was able to get documents in there without having real property was to show that I was a part of some of their Jewish organizations, and by using their seals on all of my documents. I'm talking wet wax or hot wax and seals, all of that. I had to use that, and it went through no problem. Plus, I have the red beard, so that helped me when going in person. But I would say if you go further north in California, it's easier than Southern California.
Okay.
So you can file your name change decree in any area that you want. It's just they're going to ask you for ID to match the address in the county. So to get around that, this is where you get an I-postal address in that county where you can receive mail there. Now, of course, you're in Orange County, but let's say you do this in Ventura County with a Ventura I-postal address. If they send mail there, all you do is just forward it to yourself in Orange County.
Oh, got you. Okay. The last question, is it possible to like fight a traffic ticket if you haven't like done a lot of things
Of course,
yet or anything? It is.
of course. Go inside of Patreon and type in motion to dismiss webinar. And you'll
Is
be able
that,
to-
I'm only in the freshman one, so is that in, what tier is that in?
It is available to you. It is
Okay.
available to you. So just search that word motion to dismiss and you will see it. You'll see the template that goes with it. I do have sections in there where you can talk about your trust. You can leave that there. You don't have to necessarily have your trust fully recorded in the county and everything just to do that. You can speak of your trust as an implied trust. That's a verbal agreement. Doesn't have to be written down yet. So everything that's in that template for that webinar, you can use right now to get yourself out of the traffic ticket. Number one, when they pulled you over, did you injure anybody?
No.
Second thing, when they pulled you over, was the summons, did they have an attached affidavit of complaint approved by the court?
No.
There's your out right there. So the document is going to be strictly on that. And you have to be very, very familiar with the Declaration of Rights, 1849 California Constitution. You would also file your writ of injunction and just put the case number that's associated with the summons, put that on there. And an affidavit of denial. You want to deny the complaint or the summons, word for word, line for line, point for point. All right, so there's a couple of docs that you're going to put in there. You'll find it inside of that webinar.
Okay, it's still part of it. So just really quick, if already have gone to the court and I was someone was helping and trying to do the process. And then, they denied the motion. I don't even know if she really actually ever saw it because they moved to another court. And she put in what do you call it? Like a plea. I was getting around that and not putting in a plea, but she was just like, I'm just gonna put in a plea and you can leave. Like, is it still possible to keep going and still?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
What has to happen is, like I said, the affidavit of denial, Rule 8 has not been done yet. That's why they're moving forward. So in Rule 8, you have to deny the initial complaint with the grounds that I just gave you, and you have to put in an affidavit of denial to the Administrative Procedures Act of 1946. That's what they're using to have control over you. Also, an affidavit of denial of the Abuse and Neglect Courts Act. You have to deny that. When you do those two things, now they start listening to you. That's how that works.
And I would just file those before going to court again?
Say again?
I would just file those at the court before going to court again? Or just watch the motion, watch the thing that you're telling me to watch, right?
Yeah, just watch it first. And if you need additional help on it, go to the same section where you typed in motion to dismiss, type in consultation, and we'll help you we'll walk you through it before the next court date.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much.
All right, you're welcome. All right, got time for one more. Let's see, we're gonna go to Serge. How you doing, Serge?
Hi, Avery. Can you hear me loud and clear?
Loud and clear, I do, yes.
All right, great. I have two quick questions. So the first one is this: how many foreign trustees can you add to your foreign trust? Reason for that is because I live in Thailand and my girlfriend is gonna be my foreign trustee, but she have a dependent. If I want to bring her to the United States, right? Can the trust bring her and her dependent as well?
The trust itself is really just going to help her get what's called a business visa if she doesn't want to become a U.S. citizen. Now, she qualifies to be your foreign trustee. When it comes to bringing her child, her Thailand national child, the child's going to also need need a visa as well to come to the U.S. So you can use the trust to bring her there, right, the way I taught. However, the child is another thing. And the child is going to need credentials from the U.S. Department of State as well.
Okay. All right, just one question. So what is the relationship does the US Treasury Department have with the ens legis if the trust owns the ens legis? Because if someone's getting like Social Security or disability benefits, income benefits that comes directly from the Treasury, right, to the ens legis, but the trust owns the ens legis, does the US Treasury still have a relationship with the ens legis that is owned by the foreign trust? What is that relationship?
The relationship is ongoing and it's by choice. Once you become aware that this thing has been created, it's now up to you. You can stop. You can stop using it, and you can do the process within the passport application process to rescind and complete and be done. What you're saying there as a U.S. citizen. Going forward, sometimes people are not ready to completely abandon the benefits and privileges of the United States, which is that Social Security number. You cannot cancel it until, actually, it can never be canceled, even if you die. It's just going to be recycled out every 3 to 7 years, and it goes to someone else. I know this fact because when people come here from another country and they're given an I-10 number, there's still credit from the previous person that passed away that's on that number, even though it's been given to another person. So they recycle these numbers. Now, if you use these numbers, that is the relationship, that is the contract that you have created between the Treasury and the US Department of State. So it's up to us to now know we can now operate under business credit, which is not tied to any of that. And we can dissolve that whenever we want. Those numbers will never be recycled. If it's dissolved, it's over. So utilize the estate in 7-year increments is what I'm telling you. You don't have to use the social anymore. Of course, if you are a W-2 employee, then it's going to be a while before you're able to get away from that. But if you're using it, that is the contract. That's the relationship.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, you guys, we got time for one more. This will be the last one. I'm going to go to Lisa Pizzella. How you doing?
Hi.
Hey there.
I am trying to coach my lady in Italy about making the call for the 98. She thinks she's okay. She doesn't really understand a lot, but I'm just trying to explain things to her. She did try to call and she was on hold for a half an hour, and calling from there, they don't have the same kind of phones over here, so it's per minute. So anyway, I thought I heard you and maybe somebody else in the group say that it's best if your sole trustee does make the phone call. Is that right?
If they can, or you can act like you're them. If
No,
they're
she has
female.
I mean, she has a thick Italian accent because she lives in Italy. But
okay.
I mean,
That would help.
Yeah, I guess we'll just try it a few times and, see if because, her schedule is 6 hours ahead of here in Florida and so forth. But
Yeah.
I try it this week and see if we can get a hold of them. But if we can't reach them, then I guess I'll just make it myself. But in the meantime, is there something else I need to be doing since I don't have the 98 number yet?
No, that's the first part we're going to start there, and then move forward with getting that estate number, followed by the DBAs, and completing your process with the authenticated birth certificate.
Okay. Yeah, I'm in the middle of that. I'm still waiting for I think it's step 0, which is anyway, yeah, the first, very, very first step. But anyway, and then what did you say about what's the 8832? That's after you got the 98 number?
It would be after you got the 98 number, so that way you can put it on that document.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Now you can start doing your state injunction process. That's going to be about, that's a serving that you're going to do to 4 parties in your county every 72 hours at minimum. So while you're waiting, you can work on doing the injunction.
Yeah, I was asking Nancy about that. Is there a way that I can do that myself, or do you have to do it for me?
No, we don't have to do that for you. We can't. I mean, we can draft it for you upon service request, but you will have to get that notarized and sent off. You'll find that information inside of the senior course. So just go there and type
Oh.
state injunction. You'll see
I'm
the
a
template
freshman.
for you. Oh, okay. So you'll have to opt out and go into senior, but if you're in freshman, actually what I'll do is go ahead and put that information in the freshman tier for you guys as well. I'll do that.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, cool. Thanks so much.
You're welcome. No problem. All right, you guys, that's going to be it for today. It's all the time that we can spend. Any additional questions you may have, leave them inside of the Patreon messages. I do see those. And I will see you guys. We have one more Saturday together before we close up as we reach the end of the year. So I hope this was helpful to you all. And I'll see you guys next time.